all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakakitan. You know, we come out here day in and day out, bringing the word out to our people, trying to wake our people up, trying to show them the right way to walk, man, and to be in the right spirit. Our people are not in the right spirit, man. You know, they think they're not supposed to follow the laws, that's the commandments of the Most High God. They don't have the understanding of faith. That's why we got to show our people these things, break down what it is to actually understand the laws, statutes, and commandments that we supposed to be walking in these last days. You got to have discretion, wisdom, knowledge, and walking in the spirit, man, and not presumptuously. You know, that we might, we got to be building ourselves up so that we can't fall off, that we can't go off. You know what I mean? We got to build our people up to that. You know, and this basically the time for it, man. You know, this is the time for it. You know, let's go to Acts chapter 14. Acts chapter 14 and verse 8. Because we got to be in the right spirit. You know, Jake think they can come out here presumptuously. All right, yeah, I'm finna throw in the fridges. I'm finna grow my beard out, right? And I don't eat pork no more. I don't eat shrimp, crab, lobster. Oh man. But you gotta think about, be connected with those laws, man. You gotta be connected with what's going on in front of you. You can't have the spirit looking at these things and not understanding what's happening. You gotta, hey, let me get Psalms 119 and verse 142, right? Psalms 119 and verse 142, because, hey, guess what? Even though these things are milk, we bring these things out all the time. This is what we got to get our people to, because they come in this thing and I'm not gonna do those things, but you're not connected to why you're not doing it. Like it's like your son saying, hey yo, you telling your son don't go on the streets. Hey, I don't go on the streets because my dad told me not to. No, you don't go on the streets. You're supposed to be able to break that thing down. I don't go on the streets because I don't want to get hit by a car. I don't go on the streets because look, my legs not fast enough. I can't get out of the streets. You know what I mean? I gotta look both ways. That's what my dad. You gotta be connected with the laws, man. You gotta be connected with what it is that you're seeing. Read that.
Book of Psalms, the 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
So it's the truth of the matter, man. It's not about, you know, I'm devoting myself to not eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. I'm devoting myself to not wearing wearing jeans as a woman, right? You got to be connected with why. You know what I'm saying? You got to be connected with that thing. Bring that out real quick.
The book of Acts 14 and verse 8. And there sat a certain man at Lystra, impotent in his feet, being a cripple from his mother's womb, who never had walked. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him, and perceiving that he had faith to be healed.
So Paul looking at this man who was lame since his mama's womb, right? Who was messed up in his legs since his mama's womb. And he's looking at it, he said, man, this dude got faith. So Paul having the spirit, being in the spirit, he see this thing, man. He ain't have to go ask, hey, yo, so do you have faith? He didn't do none of that. He's looked at him, he's seen it, he said, look, have faith. Now let's see. So there's two manner of people seeing this thing. Now let's get down into it. Go ahead.
Said with a loud voice, stand up right on thy feet. And he leaped and walked. And when the people saw that Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men.
You see that? They looking at it, they don't understand what it is that they seeing. Just like when these people walk up and down the street, they have so many things going on in their mind. And they blind towards this thing. They don't understand. Even there's no other levels to it, man. Wasn't King Asa righteous in all his going? But guess what? He went off.
Go around.
And then he didn't have,
I didn't want to get the kids.
No, you go around.
No, we're not shooting that way. Yeah. Thank you. So, you know, the thing is, he didn't have the right mindset to continue and to yeah, man, you see that? And you didn't see, and it's like, dude, look at the way that the cameras are shooting. You walking right in the way of the cameras.
It wasn't about the cameras.
Oh, you talking? Okay,
that's not why he wanted to walk behind us.
Yeah, what?
Just being Esau, man.
Exactly. See that? You can't learn righteousness in the land of uprightness, man. Ain't nothing going on here. We ain't doing nothing. Just walk around this way, man. But you want to be a petty annoyance to us, man. Hey, he got laws in his spirit that he follows. That, hey, I'm going to give Jay hell. But we going to cut that thing down. So yeah, the water, man, for making that dude stop. Both of y'all, man. Yeah, man. We got to beat that out of Esau, man. That's strong in him, man. But anyway, yeah. So King Asa, what'd he do? He was kind of on his deathbed, and he still couldn't understand faith. To have faith and understanding of what? To repent and be humble. But he continued to seek after the things of this world that he may be delivered. And that's what our people doing to this day, right? Especially with this other spirit, man. The so-called white man say, hey, if you let me put this poison in you, right, then you're gonna have life. If you put this poison in you, you're gonna have life. Death is here. You see the death? Turn on the TV, you can see all the death. Turn on Facebook, go outside. You see people got masks on. Hey, take this poison, and guess what? You're gonna have life. And these people blindly follow that thing. Blindly follow it, man.
That's right.
And that's why people that continuously, this is the manifestations of that devotion they have towards Esau, man, and his kingdom, and the things of the flesh. The way they dress, the way they go out here and mirth, partying, this, that, and the third. Hey, Lord, this is the ways of death, man. So this is what these people, read that again. This is what these people are seeing, are full of, death, man. They're full of death and wickedness that they have no understanding.
Verse 11. And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius because he was the chief speaker.
See that? And what did Paul come down there to do? He came down there to preach to the Jews, man. Preach to the Israelites, man. Preach to the strangers, right? That are Israelites, man, who pertain to the adoption. Go to verse 7. Read verse 7 real quick. Yeah, real quick.
Acts 14 and 7. And there they preached the gospel.
And there they did what?
They preached the gospel.
Nah, there they did enchantments.
They preached the gospel.
Nah, they gave out bean pies.
They preached the gospel.
Man, you see that? They went out and preached the gospel, man. And look at what it has come to. They didn't have understanding of the gospel, man. They didn't have understanding of the gospel, right? So jump back to where you was, verse 12.
Verse 12. And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius because he was the chief speaker.
So they liken them unto gods, man. They liken them unto gods. And it was a thing going on with the Jews, right? It was a thing going on with the Jews and the apostles, right? It was a controversy going on in this chapter, right? So they came down there to preach the gospel, man, trying to bring light to the understanding. But these people are in darkness. And what he said, they got idols in their heart. Let me get that real quick. Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 2. And idols in their heart, brother. Hey, and this is the reason we gotta connect our people with why it is they gotta follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Hold that. Let me get John. You can bring that up.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 14 and verse 2. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their heart and put a stumbling block of iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of all by them?
Should I be inquired of all by them, man? So you gotta have your heart right, man. You gotta purge these things out. You gotta become like a little child in this thing. That's why we kind of break our people down, right? Try to bring them to have humbleness, man. And some we snatched out of the fire, right? And some that we speak peace, we kind of, trying to make a difference with our people. Our people been so beat down. So it's so many strongholds you got to break down with our people, man. And that's why we out here day in and day out trying to teach our wicked, evil brothers and sisters that they going in a way that is not right, man. Bring it out, brother.
Luke 24 and 45. Then open he their understanding that they might understand the scriptures.
Nah, you open their understanding that they might know how to, get along. What it say?
Go along.
Go along or be alone. To get along. Yeah.
That they might understand the scriptures.
Nah, that they may get a better job, right? And get a degree.
That they might understand the scriptures.
That they might understand the scriptures. We're trying to cause our people to understand the scriptures. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Mayans, Aztecs, Incans, y'all are the true Israelites. Hey, brother, you want to hear the word real quick? You got time? Come hear the word real quick. All right, come back. We're going to be out here. All right. So we got to open our mouth. Open up our mouth to make our people understand the scriptures. That's why we out here day in and day out, and the Spirit of the Lord is upon us to preach these things to the meek. Because the so-called white man don't care about him. The business that he finna go into, they gonna smile at him because he's spending his money there, right?
That's right.
He got it in his mind, nah, they love me and everything equal. And I'm finna get up and go to work tomorrow on the Sabbath and not feel nothing in my spirit, right? Because, these white people, they love us, man. No, we gotta have understanding of why these things have befell us and why we ought to have discretion, why we ought to have wisdom. You gotta have wisdom how you deal in this thing, man. You gotta be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. You gotta know the depth of what that means, man. You can't be presumptuous when you hear that. Nah, I'm keeping the law, that I'm doing all this, that, and the third. Hey, you gonna think hey, David killed tens of thousands of men, right? Let's go back to that. Let's finish up where we was in Acts. Yeah.
Acts 14 and
2 Samuel,
verse 13.
chapter 16.
Then the priest of Jupiter, which was before the city, brought oxen and garlands unto the gates, and would have done sacrifice with the people. Which when the apostles, Barnabas and Paul, heard of, they rent their clothes and ran in among the people, crying out and saying, Sirs, why do you these things?
Why do you these things, man? Like, man, you don't have understanding? You don't have understanding of what's happening before you. You don't understand what's going on before your eyes? Go ahead.
We also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you that ye should turn from these vanities unto the living God.
See, that was the purpose of the healing that took place. That you should turn from these vanities unto the living God. Now, the beginning of that, of what was happening, is that man that was afflicted, he was able to receive the blessing, man. And it goes on that, hey, he was happy in that thing, man. Right? So he was happy in that thing. Our people are looking at these things they don't understand. When we tell our women to dress with shamefacedness, modest apparel, they think that we kind of putting fetters on their feet, man. Our sisters think that we putting fetters on their feet and chaining them down and bounding them and manipulating them. That's what our sisters really truly think, man. Right. I'm supposed to let it all hang out, right? That's what our sisters believe. So we gotta bring them back to the understanding of why they should be connected with dressing in shamefacedness, modest apparel, right? Because guess what? You're gonna go out there and you're gonna get men that's gonna mean you no good. That's gonna be with you for your hurt and to your destruction, man. Because you dressing up like a harlot, man. So we gotta make our women to understand these things. And first and foremost, is what? Following the law, statutes, and commandments, fearing the Lord. We gotta teach them those things, that they must fear the Lord first, and then keep those commandments for wisdom on their daily goings, man. So they won't bring swift death upon them and their children. Right? That's one. Yeah, go ahead.
And saying, Sirs, why do you these things? We also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you that you should turn from these vanities unto the living God, which made heaven and earth and the sea and all things that are therein.
So he took them all the way back to Genesis almost, man. I'm trying to tell you what? The Lord that created the heavens and the earth done these things, man. And he's doing these things for your benefit, that you can turn from sin. So you can receive this life that this brother's seen, and that you can have understanding. Hey, brother, you can have time to hear the word of the Lord? Our people think that they understand things, man, but they blind. Nah, I see, I already understand. Let me get, go to Matthew or John chapter 9 and the rest right there.
Book of 2 Samuel, chapter 16 and verse 5. And when King David came to Bathsheba,
Hey, brother, come hear the word. Come hear the word, brother, with the dreads, with the glasses on his head. Come hear the word. Come hear the word of the Lord, man. Come hear the scriptures. All right, brother, you got to come back. You already said, hold on.
behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David and at all the servants of King David. And all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand and his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. The Most High hath returned upon thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned.
All right, jump down.
Verse 10, and the king said, what have I to do?
Oh, go up to 9, select.
Verse 9, then Abishai the son of Zeri unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king?
See that? And David's past life, and before that, David what? Slaying dragons, right? Slaying dragons, kind of, slaying 10,000s of men. Salakia, slaying dragons. Slaying 10,000s of men, right? And was a mighty man. David was a very mighty man, still is. And his servant is saying, look, man, let's cut this dude down. Let's kind of cut him down because he's speaking crazy. He's speaking reckless. Right? Read it again.
Then Abishai the son of Zeri unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head.
Let me go over and take off his head. Because David was a mighty man. He thought, man, I'm going to say this. He probably had every intention, hey, David going to let me go cut this man down. He talking reckless.